G'day guys and welcome, my name is Michael and I'm the DeadAussieGamer, here to share with you my tips, tricks, ideas and strategies for playing and running tabletop role-playing games. Today we're going to be talking about creative consequences. Now, what are creative consequences? Well, as any good Fate Master, Game Master or GM would know, consequences are of course your wheelhouse. It is what determines the impact of your actions during the course of a game. Whether you succeed or fail, it is what happens to the rest of the world and what happens to the players as determined by the game master. Now, a lot of the time, these consequences usually result in a fight, some damage, maybe even some death, or, the expending of resources. These are the generic, very, very bare-bone basics of consequences. But there is a way to be creative with it. There is a way to turn consequences into a bigger, wider, and more interesting scope of things, and we're going to be discussing that today. So, let's start with some of the basics. In order to understand consequence, we need to understand plot. We need to understand quest drive. Now, a quest drive is what is pushing your players. What type of actions are they expected to be portraying during the course of your game? And there's always going to be three. And it's always going to be either one or more of these things. Either your party is moving towards something, your party is moving away from something, or your party is trying to hold their ground. Once you understand what they are trying to do, you can then determine the consequences. If they're trying to run away from something, the consequence of failure should be that the thing that is trying to chase them is catching up. If they are trying to run towards something, the price of failure should be that they are delayed. It's nice, easy, simple, elegant. Don't ever really branch from that. If they succeed, however, you need to look at the consequences of that as well. If you succeed while you are being hunted, that means you make distance. You are getting away. If you succeed when you are chasing something, well, again, you get closer to your quarry and you get ever closer to the thing you need. But there's ways that you can start spinning that in a creative way to shift the dichotomy from one to another in a very, very interesting way. Allow me to show you. A group of adventurers have gathered in a small town. They have heard rumors of a necromancer who has started making their way from an evil tower on the coast towards the local graveyard. Rumor has it that his intention is to resurrect the undead, resurrect the dead, as it were, and unleash them upon the town. Fantastic. We are now on a plot to go towards something. Now, naturally, as a GM, you should have some challenges, some obstacles. Let's say that you need to gain information. What route is this necromancer taking? You need to get time. Well, how long is it going to take for him to get there? Then, of course, you need the most important thing. How are we going to beat him there? Easy things there. Once you have these kind of ideas, we then go into the obstacles. We can make the weather tricky. We could make the area ruled by bandits. That's a cool idea. Maybe there's a wandering troll who's been eating the dead and getting very, very sick because local heroes have shown up and he doesn't want to risk coming down from his mountain, so he's been grave robbing in order to get by. These stories and more create your obstacles. The consequences. Each of these obstacles that you hit should drive you either towards or away from it. Let's take the weather. The weather is super bad. Make survival rolls. They make their survival rolls. Fantastic. You've done so well. The weather does not slow you down one bit. In fact, you find a shortcut. But hold on. As you recall, we are in the territory of some bandits, right? Well, if you've made the shortcut, why not have you bypass the bandits? You simply find a way around them. You do not pass through their noticed and watched territories, and you get ever closer to the graveyard. As you can see, there is an unseen consequence of their success. Once they arrive at the graveyard, they see the troll, who happens to be eating bodies. Oh no, troll eating bodies. Well, we're going to do what adventurers do. We're going to go into battle. We are going to spend our resources, consequence. We're probably going to get hit, take damage and consequence. And then, once we're done, we're going to be ready for this necromancer. Now, the battle with the troll is long and arduous, as trolls are quite hearty creatures. Now, here's where we look at how consequences can be creative. What we can do here is we can create a series of multiple endings, all of which end in a variety of different ways. For example, let's say that the group battles the troll. After killing the troll, they're weak, they're injured, and the necromancer immediately shows up. Oh no, our resources are dwindled, we've just fought a troll, and now we have to fight the necromancer. Terrible, absolutely terrible, and very dangerous. Another consequence we could have is, well, we've come across the troll. We've decided to fight it. And what we haven't noticed is the necromancer has snuck into the graveyard and has already begun resurrecting the undead. Every round of combat, a number of undead are awoken. And the longer the fight goes, the more this army grows. Again, we see that consequence, which ultimately impacts that future element. What are you understanding here at this point? The longer they're fighting the troll, the further their quarry is getting, in the sense of getting towards its objective, and we're not stopping them. So, as we also write ways to slow the party down and let the bad guy go forward, we also need to look at ways that we can now creatively use those consequences to elevate our players without giving them the encounter, of course, but push them towards a solution. What if our players diplomatically speak to this troll? This troll is starving. This troll has been resorting to eating the dead. While grotesque and slightly blasphemous, he has not actually come down to town, and he hasn't actually hurt anyone. In fact, until you met him right here, you didn't even realize there was a troll. Our party decides to converse with him and learns that we could probably just give him an offering of food. He would not only protect the town, but he would be more than happy to do it because he doesn't want to eat dead people. In fact, he'd probably be more than willing to help you beat the living snot out of anyone who comes near the graveyard. Bam. Suddenly you're looking at a whole new consequence, which is positively influencing the group. Another incident. Let's say that the troll, again, doesn't want to die, surrenders, and the group decides to take him up on his surrender. They may make the same offer. They may say, yes, hey, you protect this place and we'll do a thing. But the troll might go, I'm too injured and you've beaten me up. I have no intention of dying. I am leaving this entire area forever. They've still succeeded. They've still managed to beat the necromancer in terms of timing, but they have not gotten as much of a good consequence as had they taken this encounter peacefully. So that is what I mean when I talk about creativity, right? Is the creativity to not only look at the bad, but look at the good. And to also find methods of slowing down and creating these obstacles that don't just involve a head-banging, shin-kicking contest, which is going to get people killed. So that was an example of what I like to call positivity consequences. That is one of the creative ways you can use consequences. The second type that I want to talk about is, of course, the rolling consequences, when you roll from one to another. We mentioned this very briefly earlier on. Now, the necromancer arrives at this place. Fortunately, you have not been overly delayed, and they have managed to arrive. But it turns out that your rumors that you had picked up in town were false. The necromancer wasn't here to resurrect the undead, but he was here to steal something from a particular tomb. It is a rare skull and an artifact that has magical properties. It has 2 inset gems that glow brightly and can potentially unleash devastating magical necrotic energies. But alas, the tomb has been tampered with, ripped apart almost as if something had devoured the body here. Suddenly, the troll has a skull in its gut. That is the thing the necromancer is after. We now go from us chasing the necromancer, which is moving towards, to a shift because of the consequences. Now, had the group killed the troll, they then need to stand their ground. We have to protect the corpse of this troll, or the necromancer is going to get the item that he's after. Or we shift it. The troll has already left. Holy crap. We need to chase after that troll now and get into him before the necromancer does. Or alternatively, the troll is on your side. He's ready to battle the necromancer, but the necromancer has put 2 and 2 together. Oh crap. Hey troll, you need to get out of here. You need to run. And now you have to protect the troll while you're escaping, moving away from an objective. This paradigm switch is a wonderful and amazing use of consequence. And by shifting those dynamics, especially very freely if you plan well, you can create amazing encounters, because things can shift multiple times during a session. Like the troll. Let's say the troll ran away and the necromancer is after them. The group decides to get into a fight, but the necromancer has no intention of doing that. He summons some undead. The group now needs to catch up to the troll before the necromancer does. Fantastic. But what are they going to do about these undead? Even worse. There are lots of consequences here and lots of decisions that they need to be making. Do they leave and go after them? Do they take care of these and stop the townsfolk from being attacked? As they're running away, oh no! All of a sudden, the troll is heading towards town. We may not need to stop the troll. We may not even need to catch the troll, but we need to redirect him. We need to direct him away from the town. These obstacles, should I say, these obstacles write their consequences. And those consequences don't necessarily have to be impactful to the players or to the resources that they manage. Influencing the world around them and changing that paradigm, like I said, is a really creative way to ensure that your consequences stay fresh, new, and vibrant. And of course, yes, don't forget damage and hit points and stuff. They'll always go in. Okay, the last type of consequence is sacrifice. Now, sacrifice is one of my favorite ones because, and before you say anything, I'm not talking about self-sacrifice. I'm not saying one of the players gives their lives for whatever. What I'm saying is sacrifice is when a group of players decide to willingly give something up in order to succeed rather than fail. So this is something where the consequence is simply a yes or no answer. It is a do or don't. There is no roll involved. There is no check involved. There is no decision of multiple choice. It is simply it is a decision of multiple choice, but you get what I'm saying. It is a do or do not. Let's say, for example, the troll is being chased towards the town. Fantastic. You can either try to intercede with the troll and guide it away from town, or you can go after the necromancer and stop the necromancer. If you guide the troll away, you do save the town, but the necromancer will absolutely close in on the troll. If you go after the necromancer will of course be stopped, but the troll will of course go through the town. What that means is anyone's guess. So what do? Do you sacrifice the troll and potentially the main villain's the major plot, or do you sacrifice the NPCs in the town? This type of consequence is palpable because there is no win. There is no success. The idea behind these ones is to build character, is to create moral quandary. And I always recommend these ones used very sparingly because ultimately we want to play to have fun. We want to play to have a game. And most of the time, people aren't looking for your Game of Thrones gritty fantasy realism generator. A lot of people are looking for that Herculean, mythic story where you get to emerge the victor and the hero. So I use these ones sparingly, mostly just to emphasize major villains or major plots, or to give my players something to look forward to when it comes to the next adventure plot hook. But remember that by using these, you encourage your players to accept loss. Sometimes they will. Other times they will turn to you, spit in your eye, and basically say, to hang with your choices, I will do what I want, and potentially fail both. Whatever happens, it is important for the GM to maintain a level of decorum, to not go, ha, you fools, you went after the thing that I knew that you would, and now behold the consequences of your demise. That's not what it's all about. It is about taking that sacrifice and making it worthwhile. In this case, no matter what the players did, something is worth happening. The players go after the troll. They redirect him. Fantastic. The town's safe. Town is happy. The troll has moved on. However, the necromancer has caught up with the troll and managed to extract the gems, ripping them from the gut of the troll. Oh no! The troll that we were kind of really, really attached to. Oh wait, he's a troll. He comes back to life and he helps you in the final battle, which is actually quite difficult because he is now empowered by the magic stone. Notice how we still have the bad thing happening, but we add in the little sugar bit of the troll is okay. Let's say the other way. They go after the necromancer. The necromancer has been stopped. The troll rampages into the town and he is panicked. You don't know what has happened, but you see the chaos from a distance. You fight the necromancer, who is not as powerful as he should be, and you defeat him. When you return to the town, you see the signs of chaos. and the troll has been captured, not killed. The benefit of this is, again, in this particular scenario, in this particular timeline, as it were, the troll was befriended, and the negotiation to try and give the troll food for his protection is still valid. Now the group needs to go into a discussion with the town guards to try and get the troll free. But the bit of sugar is the troll is alive. And the troll then potentially has the opportunity of becoming the town's guardian. So, as you can see here, sacrifice is such a heavy thing. It's such a nasty thing that if used wrongly is going to just, make your game crap, and it's going to make it hard and gritty and miserable. And sometimes those games are fine, right? But adding that little bit of sugar, like, yes, you have sacrificed something, but it's worth it, makes the games better. Because ultimately, that's what those consequences are for. They're to make a decision, not about punishing the players for making that choice. Yeah? If you can walk away with anything, take that away. Your consequences are never about punishing your players. It is about playing through what their choices are and making sure that they're having a good time. And yes, no matter how bad something gets from the consequences of their actions, there should always be a little something that makes the group, makes the player, make the character feel good about being part of that game. That's it. That's what I've had to say. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, bang on that bell if you want to hear notifications on any time I come online. Check out all the links in the description below. You can come watch me put some of these into practice on Twitch. And in addition, if you would like to as well, you can watch me on a bunch of different channels. If you go and look DeadAussieGamer around the place, you will certainly find me. I recently played a game of Sexy Battle Wizards, and there were lots of very manic consequences to that particular game. Highly recommended, and yes, link will be in the description below. Thank you very much, and till next time, guys, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Good night, guys.